what we're looking at here is the approach to the table, and what you're doing here, Francesco, is something very common on the approach to the shot. The head moves over to one side as the feet are planted on the floor. So just have a look at this. Can you see that? When one or other of the feet touch the floor, it's very common for a player who's approaching 50-60 break standard or less than 50-60 break standard to do that. You'll find certainly players over 100 break standard are much more straight on their approach to the shot. Let's go back to the beginning again and give you a vertical line to make that easier to see. So this represents line of aim, and even there you're still a little bit to one side of the line of aim, so that could be improved as well, although that's not perfectly vertical. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. You're still slightly to one side. Anyhow, just have a look at, and we'll go slow motion here, half speed. As you plant the left foot, actually, because we've gone half speed, we can see as you move the right foot, what often happens is to take the weight off the right foot, to move the right foot forward, you often need to move to the left, which is what you've done. Whereas if you lean forward slightly, if you keep your feet stationary and lean forward slightly, just 2 or 3 inches, then your weight will be falling forward, and your right foot will have to follow you falling forward and to prevent you falling forward. So rather than staying stationary and forcing your right foot forward, lean forward slightly and allow the right foot to catch up with you. See that? Gone slightly to the left, and now again a lot to the left. You're completely off the line of aim here, and you can't see the line of aim. So when you're back on the shot, you need to do all your aiming again. But what is good here is that your right hand is on the line of aim. That's excellent. Although the left hand could be and should be, and you would like it to be, on the line of aim earlier, before it hits the table, so that both hands and the cue and your eyes are on the line of aim before your hand hits the table. That will really support you in maintaining your line of aim as you go down to the shot. If we go to have a look at myself, let's do the vertical line again. So on the line of aim, let's see what happens. I tend to lean forward with my head, just tipping myself forward, almost as if I'm falling forward into a swimming pool, but just catching myself after I fall forward a couple of inches. And here the feet are following the head rather than the head following the feet. So you don't walk like this along the street, because it would look very strange. When you walk along the street, if you see somebody walk along the street, you'll see they, especially if their feet are moving wider, if you ask them to walk with their feet wider, you'll see their head moves from side to side as they take each step. But this would, if you walked wider with holding your head like a puppet, like on a puppet string in the same place, it would look very strange. But on a snooker table it looks very natural. Of course, I'm never taking my eyes off the line of aim, and I'll just pause when the left hand gets onto the line of aim, which is there. So that's a good 12 inches above the table. I'm all set. All I've got to do then is slide onto the table. So what we can do is do the blend mode. There we are, and if we go back to the beginning, let's watch both of us approaching the shot and compare notes. This is quarter speed now, just to give us more time to see what's happening. See, I'm already down on the shot, and I think because you're walking too carefully into the shot, the first right step is laboured, your weight is not falling forward because you haven't tilted forward as you go down, you're having to almost psych yourself up and force yourself into position. Then you have to labour about consciously planting your left foot, where I think what helps me is that leaning forward, that initial tilt forward, then almost my feet are following my head, if you like, and it's much easier to, within reason, move a bit more fluidly into the shot. If you go too quickly, you will lose body control and come off the line of aim, and your eyes may lose contact with the line of aim and the ball you're looking at as you get down. So look at that one more time from the beginning. Watch the guys on TV, they tilt forward first before their feet start moving. So they're falling forward before their feet start moving. And we start in the same position, end up in the same position. It's just how you get there that makes a massive difference to your consistency and your ability to know that you're on the line of aim as you're getting down. Then to round this off, we set up a little prop here is the word I'm looking for. I went into IKEA and bought this mirror over here. It's actually a door to one of their wardrobes. It costs about £30. It's, I think, the 2 metre high version. There you go, there's the mirror. And I put on either side some paper, just A4 paper, just with sellotape, gently stuck them together. And so we've got a very narrow slither of light here, you see. And what happens is you can see yourself, my camera is behind your head, you can see yourself and the two balls and the line of aim obviously in that sliver of mirror. And as you go down, I'm asking you actually to look at yourself in the mirror as you go down. If you lose sight of yourself, it means you've come off the line of aim. So let's see how you get on with that. Well, that was much better because you're forced to keep your head on the line of aim to keep view of yourself. Let's have another look at that. I think that was okay. That's half speed actually. You can actually see my head. Right, so the lighting over there is not that great, but that's the light above my head. This is my head there with the camera, so your head is just below that. That's a nice little routine that you can do. It'll just get your muscle memory into remembering, how do I get down to the shot and stay on the line of aim again? Anyway, have fun with that and you'll find your potting accuracy and consistency will increase.